You think you're looking at a war zone, a forgotten land, a graveyard of empires. Look closer. Beneath this dust lies an estimated $1 to $3 trillion of untapped potential, minerals that could power the next generation of cars, phones, and clean energy. But Afghanistan is more than what's buried underground. This is a land shaped by 3,500 years of history, where Greek gods once met Buddhist monks, and ancient Silk roads connected the world. Beyond the scars and silence, something endures. This is not the Afghanistan of headlines. This is the Afghanistan the Earth remembers. Complex, resilient, and deeply misunderstood. Kabul, the heartbeat of survival. Step into Kabul, and the first thing you feel isn't its past, it's its pulse. The city hums with a restless energy, a high-voltage rhythm shaped by raw survival. Markets spill into the streets, engines idle in traffic, and the scent of freshly baked naan drifts through the dust. Life moves forward here, not quietly, but with a stubborn determination. Look a little closer, and the contradictions begin to surface. Beneath the noise is a tension that never fully fades, a sense that the city is constantly holding its breath. Some streets feel fuller than others. Some voices are noticeably absent. Schools stand quieter than they once did, and public spaces are watched carefully, shaped by rigid rules that now dictate the flow of daily life. This is a place where a generation of dreams is currently being asked to live in the shadows. Kabul clings to its mountainsides like stubborn barnacles, with mud brick homes rising beside newer developments, old foundations supporting modern ambitions. It has been destroyed and rebuilt so many times that change no longer scares it. Uncertainty does not surprise it. The call to prayer weaves through the roar of traffic, creating a rhythm that belongs to no single era. This is a city that endures, even as the world turns its back. Its people have learned how to adapt when paths narrow and doors close. To understand where that resilience comes from, you have to look beyond the present moment, back to a time when these valleys were not just defended spaces, but the ultimate crossroads of the ancient world. Crossroads of the Gods. Leave the chaos of Kabul behind, and you'll find yourself walking among the ghosts of a world that shouldn't exist. This is ancient Gandhara, a place where history did something impossible. When Alexander the Great's army marched through these valleys, they didn't just conquer, they stayed. In a freak accident of culture, Greek aesthetics collided with Buddhist philosophy, and the result was a masterpiece. For the first time in history, the Buddha was carved with the sharp features of Apollo and the flowing wavy hair of an Olympian god. These weren't just statues, they were the world's first global brand of art. You can still see the stone robes carved with Roman precision, looking as fluid as silk. It's a reminder that long before it was a battlefield, Afghanistan was the world's ultimate creative lab. But this land doesn't just hold on to what was built. It also bears the weight of what was lost. To see the true cost of time and ideology, you have to travel deeper into the mountains, to a place where the silence is louder than any monument. Bamiyan, the haunting silence. High in the Hindu Kush, the Bamiyan Valley opens up like a massive, jagged wound in the earth. For 15 centuries, two colossal Buddhas stood guard here, carved directly into the sandstone cliffs. They were the giants of the Silk Road, skyscrapers of the ancient world that watched empires rise and fall with stone-cold indifference. Then, in 2001, the world watched in horror as they were reduced to dust in a matter of minutes. Today, you don't come here to see statues. You come to feel their absence. Those massive, empty niches are more powerful than the monuments themselves. They stand as a haunting reminder of what happens when ideology tries to erase memory. But look closer at the honeycomb of caves surrounding those voids. Beneath the soot and scars, archaeologists found hidden chambers filled with some of the world's oldest oil paintings, vibrant colors that survived the explosions. It's a strange, heavy beauty. Even in destruction, Bamiyan refuses to be forgotten. It proves that you can blow up the stone, but you can't kill the spirit of the place. And yet, just a short drive from this graveyard of art, nature offers a starkly different kind of masterpiece. One that feels like a hallucination in the middle of a war-torn desert. Band-e-Amir, the Mirage of Paradise. After the heavy silence of Bamiyan, the road stretches into a horizon of dust and stone that seems endless. Then, without warning, the land opens up. The earth drops away, revealing something that feels almost unreal. This is Band-e-Amir, a chain of 6 deep, cobalt blue lakes carved into massive limestone canyons. The water is so intensely blue, it looks poured into the desert by hand. No filters, no illusion. Just mineral-rich chemistry, turning rock and light into a sapphire oasis in the middle of a moonscape. These lakes are a geological marvel. Over thousands of years, mineral deposits formed natural dams, allowing water to spill gently from one basin to the next. At nearly 10,000 feet above sea level, the air is thin, and the surface of the water becomes a flawless mirror for the Afghan sky. It is the country's first national park, a place where conflict feels distant, almost unimaginable. Yet the quiet here carries more than nature alone. The stillness feels deliberate, shaped by the realities of life beyond the canyon walls. Not everyone who calls this land home is equally present at its shores, and the absence is felt as much as the beauty. As the sun lowers and the blue deepens, the calm takes on a heavier weight, a reminder that even the most untouched landscapes do not exist outside the rhythms of the valley below. Band-e-Amir remains breathtaking, proof that beauty does not need permission to exist. But it also reflects something deeper. In Afghanistan, even paradise carries echoes of the world around it. And beyond the water and stone, the true strength of this land is found not in geography, but in the enduring codes and traditions that continue to shape daily life. Pashtunwali, the Iron Code of Honor. Beyond the blue waters and ancient ruins, life in these valleys is shaped by an unwritten law older than any modern state. It is called Pashtunwali. More than a rulebook, it is a code of honor passed down through generations, one that defines identity, loyalty, and responsibility. At its core are principles like badal, the right to justice, and melmastia, a form of hospitality so absolute that a guest's safety becomes a sacred obligation, untouched by politics or conflict. The code's most demanding principle is nanawatai, the right of asylum. It is why, in 2005, a villager named Mohammed Gulab risked his life to protect a wounded foreign soldier, not for ideology or allegiance, but because honor required it. In moments like this, Pashtunwali reveals its deepest strength, a moral commitment that stands even when institutions fail. Today, this ancient code moved through a far more complicated landscape. Traditions of protection and welcome endure, yet daily life has narrowed in quiet ways. The home remains a place of warmth and duty, but also one of constraint, where long-held customs are shaped by a changing and increasingly closed environment. Hospitality survives, even as personal freedoms are carefully negotiated within the walls of the household. In a land where borders shift and systems come and go, Pashtunwali continues to hold communities together. It is firm, uncompromising, and deeply rooted, offering a sense of order no external force can impose. And while much of its power is lived quietly, it also finds expression in moments of raw intensity, where strength, pride, and endurance rise to the surface, revealing the spirit of a people shaped by honor above all else. Buzkashi, the dance of dust and blood. If you want to see the Afghan spirit in its rawest, most chaotic form, you have to watch a game of Buzkashi. This isn't your typical Sunday afternoon sport. It's a high-stakes battle on horseback that makes American football look like a walk in the park. The goal? Grab a decapitated goat carcass from the dirt and carry it across a goal line while dozens of other riders try to rip it away from you. It is fast, it is violent, and it is absolutely mesmerizing. The men who play this, the chapandes, are legends. They ride horses trained to be as tough and fearless as their owners. In the middle of a swirling cloud of dust and the thunder of hooves, there are no referees and very few rules. Only strength, skill, and an iron will to win. It's a spectacle that mirrors the history of the land itself, a constant, brutal struggle for control where only the most resilient survive. Buzkashi is a reminder that in Afghanistan, life has always been a contact sport. It represents a culture that respects power, but values individual bravery above all else. But don't let the grit fool you. When the dust settles and the horses are led away, this toughness gives way to an incredible delicacy, a side of the culture that is woven knot by knot into the very fabric of their homes. The ethnic mosaic, threads of a nation. To the outside world, Afghanistan is often seen as a monolithic block. But step inside and you'll find a vibrant, complex mosaic. This is a collision of identities. The Pashtuns, approximately 42%, the Tajiks, 27%, the Hazaras, 9%, and the Uzbeks, 9%, alongside Imaks, Turkmen, and Baloch peoples. Each brings a distinct language and history to the table, a place where Persian poetry meets Turkic grit, creating a social fabric as intricate as the world-famous carpets they weave by hand. These carpets are the silent diaries of the Afghan soul, but they are also a testament to a changing social reality. Most of the intricate work is done by women. In the northern workshops and rural homes, weavers spend months tying millions of tiny knots, using wool dyed with pomegranate skins and walnut shells. Under current restrictions, these domestic looms have become one of the few remaining spaces where women can contribute to the economy. For many, the workshop is now both a sanctuary for their heritage and a boundary of their world, as their creative lives are increasingly confined behind closed doors. This diversity is Afghanistan's greatest strength, even if the current climate seeks to impose a singular shadow over it. Despite the different faces and dialects, there is a shared resilience that binds them together. They are a people defined by their ability to create beauty in the harshest conditions. And speaking of harsh conditions, that same ingenuity allowed them to master the very earth beneath them, building wonders that remain hidden far below the surface. The qanat riddle, wonders beneath the dust. While the world stares at the jagged peaks of the Hindu Kush, the real engineering marvels of Afghanistan are hidden right under your feet. In a land defined by bone-dry deserts, survival shouldn't be possible. But the Afghans solved the riddle of water 3,000 years ago with the qanat system. These are massive networks of hand-dug underground tunnels that stretch for miles, funneling snowmelt from the mountains into the heart of the thirsty plains. It is a masterpiece of ancient physics. Imagine digging a series of vertical shafts by hand, then connecting them with a gentle slope that uses nothing but gravity to move water across a scorching landscape without losing a drop to evaporation. These tunnels aren't just irrigation, they are lifelines. They've turned dust into orchards and allowed civilizations to bloom where there should only be sand. During centuries of war, these cool, dark labyrinths also became the perfect hideouts. Militaries with satellite tech have tried to map them, but the desert keeps its secrets well. But the ground here holds more than just water. Below the ancient qanats lies a different kind of treasure, one that has remained untouched while empires fought over the surface. It's a literal gold mine of the future, And in 2026, the world is finally waking up to what's buried in the Afghan dark. Lithium and the new destiny. As we move into 2026, the conversation around Afghanistan is slowly shifting. The focus is no longer only on conflict, but on what lies beneath the ground. Hidden under layers of dust and history is an estimated $1 to $3 trillion in mineral wealth, including vast, largely untapped lithium reserves, the material driving the world's green transition. For many outside the country, this discovery signals opportunity. For those living here, it brings uncertainty. Years of isolation and economic pressure have left daily life fragile, and the promise of future wealth feels distant from the present struggle to secure basic needs. International interest is growing, contracts are discussed quietly, and expectations rise. But on the ground, change comes slowly. Some see echoes of an old pattern, a modern version of the great game, no longer fought with armies, but with agreements and extraction rights. Others wonder whether these resources could finally bring investment, infrastructure, and stability. The question remains unresolved. The mountains may hold the materials powering the future, but for the people who live among them, the sound of progress is complicated. It carries hope, hesitation, and a cautious awareness that wealth alone has never guaranteed prosperity. Here, the future is not something to be claimed. It is something still being negotiated. The unbreakable crossroads. Traveling through Afghanistan in 2026 feels like standing at a crossroads that has never fully belonged to one era. This is a land where layers of time don't replace each other, they coexist. High-speed fiber cables now trace paths once carved by caravans, running quietly alongside ancient Kariz water tunnels that still carry life through the dust. Smartphones glow in hands that also know the weight of centuries-old traditions. From the guarded streets of Kabul to the open silence of the high desert, the country moves carefully, aware of the world watching from the outside. Information travels faster than ever, yet much of daily life remains measured, restrained, and inward-looking. It is a place negotiating its relationship with modernity, not by choice alone, but by circumstance. You don't come here for comfort. You come to recalibrate your understanding. The headlines speak in absolutes, but the reality on the ground lives in nuances. Small acts of endurance, quiet adaptations, and an unspoken determination to continue. Afghanistan is often described as isolated, yet its people remain deeply aware of the global currents shaping their future, even as they stand apart from them. This has always been a land of passage, a meeting point for empires, ideas, and trade routes that once connected continents. Today, that ancient crossroads feels paused, waiting for a moment when movement can resume. Not erased, not defeated, just suspended. As the journey draws to a close, the mineral maps and political labels begin to fade. What remains is something harder to define. A country holding its ground between past and future, carrying its history forward while watching the world decide how and when it will engage again. Conclusion. In Afghanistan, they have a saying: the first cup of tea, you are a stranger. The second, a friend. The third, you are family. After crossing these mountains and witnessing the scars of the past meeting the gold rush of the future, you realize the story of this land isn't written in its wars, but in its hospitality. It is a place that has survived every empire and outlasted every headline. As the world looks toward 2026 and the riches hidden in the dust, remember that the true soul of Afghanistan isn't its minerals or its monuments. It's the unbreakable spirit of a people who, after everything, will still offer you a seat and a warm cup of tea. The Crossroads remains open, not as a graveyard, but as a gateway.